have to keep watching the mid-morning show.
You dare not touch that dial.
And it's the Monday edition. Happy new month to you. It's the month of June. We are now in the 6th month of the year 2026, which means the year is moving fast. But in all of this, I know some people might feel overwhelmed, not too happy because of what must have happened in the last few months. But this is a new chapter. This is a new chapter for us to start all over. Yes, it's the mid-morning show, Monday edition, and I am Aditoke Olaleye.
Yes, I am Dolakbo Holaumi. You are welcome to another episode of the mid-morning show. Toke, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And
you are looking radiant this morning.
And you as well, I must say.
But I think it's still because of
the what?
The weather.
The weather. We are not having the weather.
You know, it's coming out to weather for two now. You know?
But the truth is, it's been much of an overwhelming month, week, days. And there's one thing we should know, brighter days are coming.
Absolutely.
The month of June will definitely bring in more positivity, more happiness for each and every one of us. And you know, the month of June is a time many of us might say, the goals I had for the new year, I didn't achieve it. I've not accomplished anything. No, slow down. You still have a chance to make it. And also, let's use the month of June to appreciate the people who have made from January to May, have made it worth it for us, who have been our strength and our source of inspiration. Let's hold on to them, send them a quick message this morning and say, Happy New Month. Happy New Month once again. And today, that is why we are starting with an interesting topic today. Today, June 1, which is the first day in the month of June, is the that's the Global Day for parents, celebrating parents, appreciating what they do in the lives of every individual. And parenting is a very interesting role, you know, from the memories of giving birth to the child, having to celebrate birthdays, having to celebrate the graduation, having a huge milestone, celebrating it. We have the pictures, we have the family photos, always interesting. But there's one thing that's so intriguing about being a parent. A whole lot of emotions comes up. We have the fear, we have the worries, we have the doubts, especially with the economic pressure, the financial pressure around us, you know, how they survive being parents. Nobody talks about that. The role that they take, how huge it is upon every individual. We don't talk about that. And someone now said that, hey, parenting does not even come with a manual. I wish it had. That person said it that, okay, I wish I had, you know, you buy a machine and of course there's a manual how you use it. But at the end of the day, when it comes to parenting, we don't have that manual. So that's what we're talking on the show today, appreciating parents, but also talking about the issues that we don't talk about. Even some parents don't talk about. Some of them are even silent. They feel, the society might not even want you to talk about the fact that, parenting is difficult. Come on.
What's there?
Yeah, parents, get over it. But these are the things that we'll be talking about on the show today. And our topic is parenting, the real struggles we rarely talk about. We don't talk about so many things. Even the interaction between parents and child. How is it supposed to be? How is it? Especially when the children begin to get to their teenage age, when they think they know it all. You know, all these pressures is what we'll be talking on the show today. And we have a guest who will be, you know, shedding more light on the topic today. But before we go into the topic proper, we have the feature, and that's on parenting. Stay with us.
Parenting is the process of nurturing and supporting the general well-being of a child right from the time of birth. Parenting could be strategies every parent adopts in grooming and training a child to identify his or her potential in life. It is a lifetime job and indeed one of the toughest jobs in the world, providing for the social, economic, financial, emotional, psychological, spiritual, and physiological needs of the children from infancy to adolescence, and in some cases, adulthood. Parenting might not be the same all over the world, but according to child development experts, the consequence of each parenting style could have a lifelong effect on the child, the family, and the society at large. It could either be good or bad. In Nigeria, parenting has evolved with time. Back then, Children were being flogged several times for not responding to questions correctly or for staying out late with friends without the consent of their parents. Making their desire to sleep at their friend's house known to their parents was a serious offense, as their parents saw no reason for their children to want to leave their domain to sleep in another person's home. Way back then in Nigeria, parenting was the general responsibility of the entire society of elderly people. Everyone counted it their responsibility to scold or correct any child who misbehaved, irrespective of who the parents are. Even when the parent was informed of the child's misbehavior, they would also add their own punishment. But nowadays, many parents would not agree to anyone trying to correct or punish their children for misbehaving without first complaining to them. In those days, using the cane on an erring child was the norm, as parents see it as a form of discipline and curtailing the child's privileges for a set period. Then, when children hear the horn of their parents' car whenever they were doing what was wrong at home, they quickly go hiding in the toilet or somewhere else in the house to avoid being punished. Parenting in Nigeria was based on authority. It is either the child obeys or gets spanked. Most parents believed that whenever a child misbehaves, he or she should be disciplined straightway by inflicting pain, beating the child. They feel it is the best way to correct a child. In those days, many children did not have different opinions from that of their parents and could not do things they feel like doing for themselves for fear of rebuke from their parents. Becoming a parent is a great challenge. Once you make a mistake while bringing up your children, you may spend the rest of your life trying to make amends. Whether you are ready for it or not, your child will definitely grow up, making choices and decisions to the extent of having relationship without your knowledge. While parents are trying to cope with the attendant behaviors of the children growing up, the children have begun building lives different from their parents, some of them resenting the way they are being parented. How then should parents handle this transition?
Okay, that
That
was
was
a
a
fantastic.
fantastic one.
That was
Alright.
one eye-opening feature, and that's talking about parenting. Like we said before, parenting is it doesn't come with a manual. And the topic for today, parenting, the real struggles we rarely talk about. And today it's a day that celebrates parents, the Global Day of Parents. So if you have a parent close to you or far from you, please send a message to them, say Happy New Month, and say a very big thank you for being a very fantastic parent.
You know, we should actually appreciate our parents.
Today is
Very
not about
important.
mommy or daddy, everybody.
Everybody.
And
Everybody totally.
they say, like, I saw a quote online that says, parenting is an ultimate exercise in patience, sacrifice, and unconditional love. It is a daily journey of guiding the next generation and showing up as the best version of yourself, because your children will ultimately mirror what you are.
That's a beautiful one.
That says it all about parenting. And we have a guest in the studio today. She is Dr. Oluwatoyin Daniel. She is a social developer and a child advocate.
Good morning. You're welcome to the show, bro.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank
And
you
happy
so
New
much.
Month.
Yes.
Oh,
happy
wishing
New
you
Year,
the
that's
same.
true.
Wishing you the
And
best
thank
of
you
this.
for being
Thank
a
you
good
for-
parent. Almost every parent today is going to receive a message from us today.
Honestly, yeah.
But the
Thank
quote,
you.
like I said, it's a best version of yourself. Parenting is the ultimate exercise of patience, sacrifice, and unconditional love. What's your point of view on that?
You said it all. You know, when you look at parenting, actually is a lot of responsibilities. I was just in a room where they were saying there was no manual given to them when they started,
True.
which is actually true. But you know, some of us might be opportune to have seen some guideline. You don't actually need to have a manual or a guide like that, but we've seen it. You know, in those days, our parents would not just sit you down to tell you this is how they do it. You learn by observing, which is also by parenting. I tell people parenting, you know, we say parenting is raising a child morally, socially, nurturing the child, protecting the child, and it's all round. But in my own definition, I always say parenting is modeling, and modeling is parenting. That's just it. Because when you've been to where they mold and clay, you see, when they are doing it, they will sieve, they will get the clay, they will sieve it, they will break it, pour water, remove stone, and in the process of molding it, it will break. They will start all over again. You know, even as a child, when we're molding all those clay assignments, you will break it, you put water again. Even at times the thing must have dried and feel like it's not perfect, you water it again. Except for a child that you may not be able to break a child like that. But for your rules, for the way you do it, you can always change some things and you keep moving. Parenting is a lot of responsibility, a lot of activities, a lot of sacrifices, patience, because parenting will test your patience, just like you said. Except for those that are not looking to raise models. People that, because when you are modeling a child, you're also modeling that child to become a role model. And the number one role model is you yourself. They're looking at you, everything you're doing. So you have to do the best for them. You have to make the best use of you and also be the best version of you for you to build someone else. That's what parenting is. So you have to come out fully loaded, fully ready. Even if you are not ready, you just have to take up the role.
You have no choice.
But the moment you're ready to give birth to a child, either a biological child or so a child that is given to you, you are already a model that the child is looking at. I think that's what parenting is.
Okay, so what would you say that, what are some major challenges that parents face that, you know, they rarely talk about from your own experience?
A lot of it. You know, as a Christian, I know there are things that you even feel like you don't want to say out. You just have to pray to God. I remember raising younger children when my children were young. I remember my first child, to be precise. You know, they will always say that the first child is always the guinea pig of the family, because it's the first one. Even if you have raised so many for other people, you know, this is the first child that is yours, that you are raising. There are so many things, you know. Is it from the sleepless nights, raising a child as a mother, talking as they are from the angle of a mother now, you have to carry pregnancy, even to sleep. Let's start from pregnancy. You may want to sleep on your right and the child is telling you, I'm taking this position of the right, and you are taking the left. Because I tell people, being someone that minister to children, I know babies in the womb, they hear. You communicate with them and they respond. When you tell them you're going out, you see them, just tell them, I'm going out today. Please, you need to cooperate so that we can come back on time or we have a good outing. You will see your child will cooperate. That's just from the womb. They're now having a child, not sleeping at night, watching their baby's clothes, preparing food, getting so many things ready. And God help you, if you already have a baby, you've had a toddler and you're having another child, that's multiple for you. And if now God help you, maybe God is giving you like 2 or 3 at the same time with an older child, then your workload doubles. Then apart from caring, as in material things, giving food, giving money, parenting is not just about giving money, giving food, clothing, and shelter and education. There are things that will challenge you mentally. I remember when my son was young, as a young mother, they would give him assignments. My son would just say, when you say come and do assignments, my son wants to play. He loves play. And being the only child in the family, when we get to school, let's go home, he'll be like, oh, I don't want to go. We start running around the school. I don't, because he knows the moment he leaves the school, no other person to play with except myself. And his sister was still a baby. And that one does not really understand. You know, baby will not start smiling until like 4 months, 6 months, they start identifying you. We now say, let's go home, let's do the work. By the time you are giving him pen, as you are turning, the pen is gone. You know, you are running around the house, and is it the time that maybe they are strong, they are sick, you have to attend to them. Elsewise, you have to consult a doctor. And at that time, most mothers, you know, your faith will be tested. You will even doubt whether you are strong enough, because you are thinking, God help me. I remember when my first son was a baby. You know, a baby, he had jaundice as a baby. So they were like, they are going to test him. They've taken him initially. The second time I followed them there, wow. Me observing that pain passing through, I started weeping. And the doctor was like, if you take me away, I was like, I was imagining me as myself as an adult taking injection, and this little baby that was just few days old, and you people, I started crying. Not knowing that it's just the beginning of my journey as a mother. Will you think of the days that maybe you just woke up at the night and the child is running temperature? Or do you think at the time that as a parent you are not even buoyant enough to buy some things? Because no matter how, you may have all the money, but you may not have all the else may be something else. Because I remember there was a particular time I wanted to buy, was it Cerelac, Spain Cerelac. My son would not eat Nigeria Cerelac. If you give him, he would just be pouring it out.
But the financial aspect of it couldn't.
We have to make you. That's one of the sacrifices. Most people will always say, see, even me, myself and you, we are not eating. These children must eat. That's number one thing in our family. Unlike parents, some parents nowadays that will send their children to the road while they are sleeping at home, because I've picked children like that around the Badon too. The father will be at home sleeping while the children are the one fending for the family, which is totally wrong. We have to do for money, go extra mile, buy food. I remember my husband was moving from Danas around Mokola Ibadan. He went to LA, he went to Kunyara. He was looking for baby food because it was not available in those places. And you have to go and look for it. And on getting there, now discover that I think maybe they rebranded and it was not available. It's like over 15 years. So it's parenting, if I tell you, as a mother, everybody will understand. If you are not there, you won't understand.
With this that you said, there's a tendency of parents being overwhelmed. But why is it, even having the burnout? So why is it that parents don't get to express themselves? They keep it all inside. They hardly talk about it. Is there any perfect reason for that?
I don't know. Actually, I will tell you that some parents say you can still say it out. But there are things, you just feel like some people will be like, there's this Yoruba, I don't know. That is in your house that you eat a rat that has navel. Whatever you eat, because it's not everything you tell people.
Okay.
Your child is going through some challenges. You can go for counsel. That's for those that know how to go about it. There's counseling. Counseling is available either in church, spiritual setting, in mosque, or in the sector, like maybe through organizations. I know there are paid counseling and there are free counseling. And there's nothing bad. As a mother, you seek advice. As a father, you seek advice from those that have gone ahead of you. They said a closed mouth is a closed destiny. You can't alone raise a child. That's just it. I say a lot of things, but there are things that you may feel like, okay, let me say it too. Let's manage it. But if you are going through an issue within your family that some people might have gone through, there's nothing bad in you saying it out. So I don't know why people will keep everything. There are some that you may not need to tell people, but there are some that you need assistance. You need to tell someone, you need help, and you can't carry it alone.
But how can the parent be able to distinguish that, okay, this is normal stress and this is abnormal? This is a total burnout, seek help. How can parents actually find that out?
See, we're in a global village now, everything is interwoven. I don't think there's virtually anything you won't see on the internet. Because most of us, apart from being elite, though we have parents. My parents, my mom had, what do they call it, modern school, or that was what she had. But my mom will always, the way she will counsel you, you would think she's a professor. Because I used to say, my mom, no, may God continue to rest her. So my mom will sit you down, talk to you at midnight. So many things that parents don't talk about. My mom talk about it. Is it menstrual hygiene, sex education? In her own way, she mentioned all that to us. So there's nothing bad in people saying it. But I know there could be challenges of, okay, your child is going through, maybe, let me say, people tend to be quiet because of stigma and discrimination.
Wow.
Yes.
Parenting as well.
Yes. Your child is going, see, every child has a tendency of being wayward. Now depend on you, on your parenting skill. Some children may decide, anything they take at home, they pick money, and when they go out, they start picking other people's money if you don't curb it at home. Because every child, Yoruba will always say, Ojo agbara olohun onile ngbe, egbe lo, onile ni oni gba. That a flood is determined to carry away the foundation of the house. It's you, the owner of the house, that will decide, this my house must be solid and nothing will take it away. That's a common Yoruba adage. I'm sorry for the people. That's why I actually interpreted it. Every child has a tendency of want to be strong, taking their own decision. They want to have this self-will. But you as a parent has a role to play. That's why it is parenting. It is parenting. You are modeling. You know, I just mentioned the word that parenting is modeling. That's my own definition. So whatever you want to see in your child is what you put. Now, forget about what people are saying. Seek help. I'm a Christian. The Bible I read says, train up a child in the way he should go so that it will not depart. And I know who wrote that book. It's God. I'll go back to that God and speak to that God. God, you know I cannot do this. This child is being given to me by you. Give me the grace to raise them. At the same time, there are people that have gone ahead of me. I will look at them. That's why you should have trusted advisors. It's not everybody you tell things.
Trusted advisors.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that.
It's not everybody. You look for people of like mind. This person, with the little I've seen, before you open up to someone, you should at least know little about the person. I remember, I think it was around mid-90s. I was in an office. A woman entered. It's like an open office. I was a receptionist. The woman entered the office, and she started talking to me like an adult. She was telling me everything she was going through as a married woman, as a wife. I think she was waiting, and she's going through a lot of issues. You know, she started talking. I was a young, you know, I was just looking at the end of the day, and I asked her, "Are you a Christian? Can you just say to God?" I was a churchgoer. I was just like, you can say it to God, but I know God will help you. That just be calm, that there will be solution. That was my own level, or at that time. I was not married. I was a young girl about going to the higher institution as at then. I just told her, you know what the response is? Me speaking to you, I feel like a burden has been lifted from me. That's why the issue of speaking up, don't bottle everything up. Look for trusted advisors. Look at people of like minds. That woman, she didn't know me. That's the advantage of counseling. You can go to someone that you don't know for counseling if you are not comfortable with maybe your pastor or with a social worker that you know. Or you can go to a counseling. There are free counseling. People that can do it. Just walk up, or you make a call. Reach out to someone. Or you can read books. But there's nothing bad in as a parent. Look for people of like mind. There are people in our lives that have been positioned there. You have seen people that have done it ahead of you. You see people whose children have graduated and they are behaving well in the society. Why not reach out to them? You see their lifestyles. We see. No matter how packaging that people are packaging everything in this era of social media. There's nothing you can cover for forever. There are still things people will see. There will be those lights, those things that will be shedding out. Not those drop-off that people will see. You can't just package everything.
So looking at parenting now, how would you say that parenting has evolved over the years from the olden days parenting and this modern day parenting? What has really gone missing? Where do you think this generation has got it all wrong?
Thank you so much. Firstly, I will talk about, they will always say that someone gives birth to a child, but a child is being raised by a community. That communal issue is totally erased nowadays. Someone is telling you, can't talk to my child like that. A teacher is disciplining a child, and the parent is saying, no, I did not send my child to your school to be disciplined. I'm not saying beating, no. I'm not saying abuse. I'm talking about discipline. Discipline could be like, in my children's school, I always tell them, don't send any child out of class. Let them stay in that class. Let them come. If they've done anything wrong, let them come to the front of the class. Let them recap what you have done, just done. That's a discipline. Or you tell them by the next class you are making a presentation for the whole class about what you have been taught today. You see them sit up, they won't want to make noise, they want to concentrate. In this particular era, people feel like we know it all. In those days, I remember, though we should be security conscious anyway, but notwithstanding, in those times, you will see someone that will say, oh, this child is, you notice this, you notice that. I could remember when we were very, very young, I could remember a particular lady that got pregnant. She used to visit our house once in a while. My mom just called my sister, this is so person, what have you noticed about her? Is there anything she has shared with you or whatsoever? My sister said nothing. So my mom was like, she's observing some things. She had to call the mother that she needs to speak with her and inquire. But my mom told her that she first inquired that maybe she beat her and all that. She now called her and said, do you notice some things in your child. How much of them do you know? That I'm sorry, but you can draw close to them. She didn't even say the exact thing, but she was pregnant, and my mom noticed it.
Wow.
And she wasn't really sure, but she felt. The mother didn't know. The mother didn't know. Even that's why my mom saying that. My mom was like, she should just get close to her children. She got close. They were sleeping on the same bed. It was the day she gave birth that the mother knew she was pregnant.
Oh my. Okay.
Do you understand?
Wow.
But you know, at least my mom just told her to get close to her. To get close to her. But she didn't even know when at least, you know, I remember when we were young, my mom would take notes and tell you, you are this age, so now you should be expecting that you start menstruating and things like that. I could remember the first time I started menstruating, my mom, or 4 grown-up ladies living with us in the house. So I've seen, so she knows, we already know, my elder sister, I have 3 elder sisters, they already, but I knew I could package myself and things like that, but she still called me as a mother and told me things to do. That's my mother. In the society, I remember when we were still young, my mom used to have a shop somewhere. On the street, my mom will tell you, that person is coming. Can you ever carry one of the bags? That's preventing. Then those women, when they see us, then let me mention a particular incident. I was still telling someone about this last week. My dad used to have this pickup. He has a 504 and a pickup. And there was water scarcity in those. They were living in Akure then. So we had to go to Water Corporation to go and get water. We now feel like maybe 10, 15 jerrycans and put it in a pickup. So when we're going, we told him we will follow him. He said, okay, no problem. We entered the pickup at the back. I think mommy was sitting in the front and maybe someone. So we're like, we'll go. He said, it's not convenient, but we decided we'll keep it. I said, someone should stay with us. Unfortunately, my uncle had to go. He left us. So Mr. Alake, he used to be a car dealer. I don't know whether he's late now because he should be an elderly. So the man just parked. Now he didn't say anything. As we were parking in our house, driving in, this one was just parking behind my daddy. And I said, Papa Bukola, nǹkan tó ṣe yẹn, ṣé o lákìyèsí yẹn ṣá pé kíní yẹn ò dáa? My daddy and I said, what happened?
He didn't know.
The man said, you didn't notice that someone just jumped from the trunk of your vehicle while moving? And he said, I didn't notice. I said, thank you, sir. He didn't even see anything. Thank you, sir. And I said, Funke, Toyin, ṣé bó ṣe jẹ́ nìyẹn? My dad just said, thank you, sir. As the man left, you know you are in trouble.
Yeah. I was telling you, the thing is that we don't have that kind of a thing again.
But you know what actually happened? That was the only and the first time that my dad ever beat me. I tell people my dad don't beat. Despite that, it's not this era. Okay. There was no child's right or anything. That was the only and the first time. My daddy now said, you will tell me everything. But because they told you not to say, you didn't say it, I'm going to beat you today. It was just through this finger.
You still give us more stories. It's still the Mid-Morning Show. We'll be right back after this break.
The home is under attack, but not for long, because Hypo is here. Dirty floors and surfaces.
Not on our watch.
Dirty and stains don't be do a shakara. We got the remedy, original palasa. Hypo, go hypo.
Germs always find a way back.
No greed. Protect every day with Hypo.
Hypo.
Welcome back. It's still the Mid-Morning Show, and our topic today is parenting, the real struggles we rarely talk about. And that quote, has made me understand that paying attention is much of a big deal. And I think it's a consciousness of who we are. Now, the biggest problem in parenting is not the child. It's the parent's own unexamined consciousness. So, Ma, do you really agree to what
exactly
that coach is talking about?
Parenting should be intentional. It should be intentional. If you want to overlook everything, you feel you should just leave the child. Like one common thing in our society today, I don't know whether you've noticed, when children are disturbing, parents will give them phone. They will say cartoon or whatsoever so that you can focus. But you are building addiction in that child. You are telling the child, I don't want you to disturb me. Take this. But you're not looking at the future of that child. You are not looking at the repercussion of what that singular thing will bring. As young as day old, you see people putting children in front of TV just to avoid being disturbed. No. I remember when we were young, how many TV did you watch? We had that black and white that would start working. Was it 4 p.m. or thereabouts? My dad was such a lovely person. I told you he didn't beat me. The only time was that time, and it was 2 fingers. 2 fingers, I can tell you. And I will tell you, when you are supposed to be reading, you can't be watching TV. But when he's there, maybe he just comes back from a journey, he'll be called all of us and we are all there. Which TV will you even be watching in the morning? No. Except maybe on Sunday and you want to go to church, why will you be in front of TV? I said all those Arelu, Ajalu, all those movies in those days. You understand? So now, if a parent is thinking, I'm raising a child, someone is disciplining your child and you feel they are maltreating the child, there's a thin line between abuse and discipline, just like we said earlier on. See, when your child is doing what is wrong, there should be appropriate discipline. No matter how young, every child, children understand you, like I said, from the womb they hear. There is a communication that matters. How do you say it to them? Some people will be like, don't talk to my child, he's still a baby, he does not understand. Just tell that child we love and see whether they will not yield. After some time, their attention span may change and they want to do something. But talk to those children. Yesterday, we had Children's Day in my church. You'll be surprised. Some of those children, as they want to go, I'll just say, oh, do you want to go? You know, there are goodies. They want to go to their parents. There are goodies after this. So you can take some. You see, some of them will just sit down. And they will cooperate. Then the moment you start giving them some things, they see it, they will keep it. And they don't want to go. If you go to your mommy, you won't get any other person, no. And they will stay. Instead of roaming around the auditorium, they stay put. And they behaved well. So one thing we need to do, that thing you are telling that child, that thing you are doing, what do you think is a repercussion? What do you think is a consequence? Do you think it will have any effect on that child? Not counseling a child, not talking to a child. Some of us will ignore the child. Some of us will say, and since is a grown-up, that's another thing. When people have children, especially in families that they don't have graduates or where they have people that have gone to school ahead of them, anybody that is first coming up is the first graduate of the family will be the god of the family. So you can't talk to the child, you can't do this, and the parents will be surprised. The parents will be like, no. Some will even be calling their child with respect. Respecting is not by, how they will say that, no, all those are just abnormal things. I tell people when they say, that you should sell your children are not your friend. My children are my friend. There are boundaries.
Even for friendship, anyway.
Yes. There are boundaries. You need to, that's one of the role of parenting. You have to set discipline and the right appropriate boundaries. If not, children will take you give them 1 mouth, they will take you to 2, to 10. Give a child your phone. Before you know it, they have gone ahead, especially for a child that can maneuver on this phone. What my children, that's why I don't give them phone. I told them, my son, until you are in our institution, you're not going to use a phone. He has a phone. That phone does not have SIM. When he's at home, if he has anything to do, I will tell him, I'll connect it to my phone. You understand? He can work from there. Then when he's using that for all you see on that picture is funny pictures. Maybe as you are seated, you just look at it when you are carried away, we'll snap you and keep it. One day we'll bring it out and tell you this is. And this boy knows a lot about, is it coding, cartoon development and all that. He knows more about IT. But that does not stop him from owning a phone at this age.
Yeah.
At least some people say 13. He has a phone, but he does not use it. Who is he communicating with? Is it not me? Or if you want to speak, he has friends. Even friends that are not even in Nigeria, they can communicate through my phone. Even some of them will send WhatsApp. Because we've seen groups where children are being left, children that have phone. You see what they post on phones at times, you'll be surprised. Adult rated content and things that are not godly. They post it there, they say all sorts of things, court and all that.
But the issue of parents paying attention, when we have a whole lot in our society that they need to accomplish. Oh, they have their careers on the line, they have the financial pressure, school fees to pay, rent to pay, they have a whole lot of the family affair is there, a whole lot that they have to think of. In trying to be a parent, and paying attention seems to be a big deal. That even at some point they feel guilty. That's another problem. They feel guilty about it. So how can parents balance the entire pressure of the world and still be good parents?
Thank you so much. You know, anything we're doing, there's always room for balance. You should know how to balance things up. As a parent, you don't have to overwhelm yourself. You don't have to overburden yourself. I think all we need to do, put system in place. Some people say it's because I don't have money because of the economic situation in the country or others. No. There are systems you can put in place. Number one, just like we mentioned earlier, be your children number one fan. If they are your fan and they understand your body language, you understand their body language, you communicate, not just ignoring, then it makes the work easier. The bonding starts from when you are pregnant. It starts from when they are young. You can't just leave a child now and the child is grown up. You don't want to come back into their lives. They will see you as a stranger. But if you have built that bond boundary, as you are growing up, you are telling them things, you carry them along even in your own life. There are things you still, though there are some other things you may not tell your children so that they won't be overburdened, but you tell them, this is what I'm doing part-time. I need you to do this. I may not be available for this. But the moment you sign up for parenting is a job role, a business that has no break, no leave, no vacation. It is a lifetime and it is 100%. And you have to know it and do it 100%. You can't say, I want to delegate some to someone. Yeah. Actually, you can delegate to trusted advisor. But your role must be felt in that parenting. Because you can't give your parenting role to people to play for you. Like what is happening today, many people feel that teachers should play the role they have to play. Teachers have their role. Parents have their role. Religious settings have their role. Everybody has a role to play. Yes. But you can't delegate your own role as a parent to other people. Person. So you have to do it. All you have to do is set system in place. There was a time when my children were in secondary school and they were day students. They leave home as early as to 6 a.m. We sat down. Can we change this school? So that you can have more time. And they said no, they don't want to change school. That they prefer going with the school bus, and they will go with the school. I myself, I wake up at times past 4:30 so that they can meet up, because as it is 1:45, I know the school bus is at the gate, but it won't call me because it says 1:15, but the guy would have been there. When it's like 10 or 5 to 6, he will now call me and say, it's not yet time, we are ready, but we are not stepping out because we have to pray by 6. So at times I said, how many hours do they spend at home? They spend most of it in school, so I have to have that relationship with them before they start their day. At a point, they just came to me that they want to go to the hostel. I was like, hostel was not in my plan as a parent, but they said they will behave, and they've been seeing the children in the hostel, how discipline is this and that. Then I went ahead and investigated at a point, and I agreed. Then I now saw that they went to the hostel, but I tell people, even people still say, how did they want to know that school, how come they are doing like this? Because you can see that maturity, they change. Yes, but we sat down, we had a discussion. I told them, yes, the day I start seeing some things that I don't like in you, that's the end of it. Then the day I cannot see any improvement, you're coming back. Improvements academically, spiritually, morally, and because academic is not the only thing now. Most parents now focus on academics and well-being, but it transcends beyond just education and then any other thing. It goes into their mental, it goes into their spiritual, because God-fearing children are the ones we need in this generation now. At least they have something to fall back to. So now you sit down, you count it together. And when you are making your decision, please, with your children, always involve your children, no matter how young. But just give them appropriate age, appropriate information as they are growing. Let them be know, this is me, this is what mommy wants to do, this is what daddy. But you don't take decision outrightly for children without involving them.
If you look at, you mentioned something that, for some parents, they give their children their phone. Already there's a communication gap. If you look at our generation now, there's a whole lot of notes. So how can this gap be the gap that has been broken, how can it be brought together to ensure that...
Earlier on I said, parenting has to be intentional. You have to be intentional with your parenting. If you are not ready to be intentional, you are not starting. You are, now I see two people, the two of you might be in the same office, in the same room, and not communicate, everybody's on their phone. Even the husband and wife on the same bed. This one is facing this, and the other one is down. They are pressing phone. One is in America, one is in Canada. They are pressing, or maybe one is in Australia, Canada, and America are still closed. No, they are pressing phone. But all we have to do is to be intentional.
Yeah.
There should be no screen time. I tell parents, no screen time. Some people don't even ask, they don't have phone, but the communication gap is still there. Yeah. But all we can do, just like I said earlier, be intentional. Involve your children in decision you take. Have bonding time with them. Pray with them. If you're a Christian, you're a Muslim, call your children into your religion. Let them, that fear, the fear of that thing you believe in, let them also have you. Let them grow with it. So that by the time they are growing up, they know, this is what mommy does, this is what daddy does. Even for the people, the bad people, they still bring their children into whatever they are doing, so that they will train them in that line. So,
talking about that fear, you made mention now, because there are some things parents tend to shy away from, especially when children are at a certain age, maybe when they become teenagers now. Some things about puberty, sex. Sometimes you even see parents shy away from topics like masturbation. Why do you think parents shy away from that, especially that topic in particular?
Thank you. I won't say parents are the ones shying away from it. Let's start from our society. Our society don't talk. Most of these things are seen as taboo. You dare not talk about it. You dare not mention some things. In those days, nobody will ever mention vagina. Nobody will ever mention penis, which is wrong. Your penis, your vagina, when I go to school or anywhere to talk to children, I tell them, even my children from younger age, as they are growing, I'm telling them, this is your hand, you're teaching them, this is your breast, let them know. Go to an assembly, talk to children, except for schools that have been liberated. You just say, the moment you mention, start with, children, let us mention part of our body. You can do your body. As I mentioned it, be calling the name. Mention here, they will mention it. Mention this, mention it. Bring your hand here. The people talking will reduce, and they will just say chest. Put your hand there, they will say bum or buttocks. Put your hand anywhere, they won't be able to say it again.
So it's the society.
The society, the way what we put to children. I've said parenting is modeling. What they see, children tend to observe more than what you tell them. They observe every of your action. As a parent, or a teacher, fold your clothes and fold your shirts as you are going to work. Let your children be observing you. The next time they are dressing, one of them is,
they want to
the way my hair is. My daughter will always be, I want to make my hair like this. And she has been saying that for quite a long time. I'll be like, no. Because I know tomorrow you may get tired of it. I may not want it. I did this because of just one of the issues we were talking. I was parenting, I was running a PhD and so many things and things like that. You understand? At a point when I was doing my final post-field, I was like, one have to go. Is that I call this year or whatsoever? So anything we have to let them know as we are doing it. But parents tend to shy, just like the society will shy, don't talk about. And they will say, as a child, when an adult is talking, you don't look at them. You bring down. And we are building
low self-esteem.
Low self-esteem in our children. There's nothing bad. They will tell us that is Western word for you to look straight into someone that is talking to you. But it has level.
But even the issue of self-expression. We have children nowadays, they're so outspoken. And when you tell them, oh, you are wrong, they will even try to ask you, why am I wrong? But we have parents who will say, do not tell me that I'm wrong. So how can parents change their tactics away from the old and bring in a new one to ensure that they are good parents in this new age?
Thank you. The best way to raise a child is being fair and firm. That's the best parenting style. Fair and firm. You have to be fair to the child and you have to be firm by your decision. Because your decision must be good. It must be something that will be beneficiary to them. But you have to be fair in the sense that you have to put yourself in the shoe of that child. You empathize. That's why when you are disciplined, you're not going to corporal punishment. You're saying, okay, this is what you want. This is what is good for you. That's what fair and firm parenting is. You're looking at what is good for the child and you are telling the child to do it. And you're looking at, okay, this child is going through problem. Can we sit down and dialogue together? Can I have your idea? How can I be part of your life? In those days, those indigenous way of raising children, they were actually working. You know, raising children in those days, he mentioned that, but I was not able to reach it before. In a community, you see someone bringing those children, telling them folk tales, telling them moonlight stories. That's the part of parenting. Do we do that? Thank God for those that read the bedtime story to parents and to their children. But how many people?
Well, there's no time now.
Some parents, before they get home, the child is already sleeping. Some, just like if my children are continuing like that, they would have gone early and come back late. You understand? They now look for, now Ibadan is like Lagos, where people will leave home like 5 when the children are still sleeping. Some would have even woken the child up and they are leaving. They are dropping off the child in school and you are going there, or you are meeting up again in the night. Child, you have bonding. There's no way you are talking to your child. You are telling the child, as the child is going, you are telling the child that this is the right thing, that is the wrong thing. Do you think? And there's another thing, dialogue. You know, I always say dialogue. But most of us tend to fall just like the child. You said some child are outspoken. Whatsoever a child is, just like that quote said, your self-own will or mind is what you look at.
Yeah.
But are you doing it right? How did he get there? Some may be born being confident, but some of those things are learned. When you see such child, you have to tailor it in such a way that it will not be turned to a negative vice on them. You know, if a child is confident, you have to let the child know what is right from wrong, so that it won't become abusive with time, so that the child will not tailor towards being negative, because some children can just rise up and talk on their own and do things. But when you feel like you want to silence that child, it is not good. And at the same time, you have to guide the child. Let the child choose their right from the left. When the child is taking decision, as they are getting to some age, you are telling them, do you think this thing you want to do, if you do it this way, or do you think it will come? What would be the outcome? I remember when much, much younger, how much education did my dad, and my dad would be like, if you want to study a course, my dad would be like, hey, do you think you like that course?
Yeah.
I hope in the next 5 or 10 years, you won't say you are tired of that course. Have you seen people in that field that they do? Is this something you love and things like that? Or should I speak to someone on your behalf that can speak with you, that you know more about that field? But my dad never shows for any of us. We just tell you. I was even surprised. It was when I became a parent, I started looking at what they did for us, how helpful it was.
Like you said, being a model to the child.
Children.
I think we need to go on this break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. It's still the mid-morning show, and we're talking about parenting, the real struggles we rarely talk about. And our guest, Dr. Oluwatoyin Daniel, she has been giving us insights. And that quote says, there can be no keener revelation of a society's soul than the way in which it treats its children, talking. And that's Nelson Mandela giving us that quote right there. So, Dr. Oluwatoyin, your thoughts on that one again? You know, you were giving us the insight before during the break.
It does it. You know, society, just like we said, parenting is everyone's business. We can't just say, don't touch my child, don't speak to my child. They spend most of their time with the teachers, with their peers in school, and they are learning from this one. But you as a mother, as the ultimate say in their life, because they see you as authority. So the way you treat them, whatsoever you tell them, the way you handle them, reflects in their lives. With anybody that sees them, it's just an expression of you. Maybe if everybody understand that your children is an expression of you. You're telling me your child starts to misbehave and you are comfortable with it. That means you started it. That means you are comfortable being your child being a child, being your child being someone to write off. And the glory and the joy of every mother is to have a child that is better off than you. A child that you can see when they say, mommy prof. They want to in maybe especially in this orthodox setting, in churches or in gathering, when you are mentioning that your child, you carry yourself with esteem. But if you miss it at the right age, if you are instilling rubbish in your children, you are thinking nobody should touch your child, nobody should speak to your child is the God of your house. You're missing it. So now, it's good if you can identify what you're doing wrong.
Yeah.
And start correcting them. It's not too late. I tell people it's never too late. You can start when you get the right information. It's not a sin that you've not known, and now that you are that you are already aware, you can tailor your steps to those steps to be a better person for your children and for yourself. Because your children is a reflection of you, and your reflection is what we have in the society.
Yeah, and we are seeing that today actually in the society, reflection of so many parents that you know that, oh, this is as a result of bad parenting.
Exactly.
Oh, this is as a result of good parenting. But now the technology is here to stay with us. And it seems to be the one creating all lots of gaps, all lots of atrocities when it comes to parenting. But how can we now use technology that is with us, not as a tool for our disadvantage, but as a tool for our own advantage to ensure that parenting is totally good and unique?
Thank you so much. You know, I used to say that you can't raise digital children with analog knowledge, archaic knowledge. In this era, it doesn't mean, I'm not minding the level of your education. As a parent, you have to be on top of the game. You have to know what is going on. Just like you understand how teenagers communicate now, young guys. They will just write maybe TWF. As a parent, you don't know what it is. Till the child will serve you in your presence, you won't know. You understand? So you have to be involved in their life, number one. If you involve in their life, from there you know what their exposure is. Then you know where their weaknesses is. You know what their strength is. At the same time, no child, virtually everybody uses technology. But you can know the level of their addiction, the level of the level to which they are tailored to using technology. But you as a parent, if I'm educated and I can do a phone, you see parenting tips on phone that you can listen. There are so many parenting where people give tips, where people give counsel. Even some people even tell you their own testimonies. All these are meant for us to benefit from. You can join a parenting group. People will still tell you good things. Then you see bad things online. Yeah. I do say that this phone, technology, either phone or internet or whatsoever you decide what you get from it. If you decide you want to pay the best out of it, you get the best out of it. You can research. A lot of things you can do. What are the things, as a mother that you have little knowledge of education, you can say, okay, children in ages 10 to 13, how do they behave? What can I do for my child? If the cheapest of it, ChatGPT, how can I know, or how can I get involved with the life of my child? As a mother that have not been, you notice this in your child, then you put it there. It will give you some advice. Though ChatGPT may like emotions, but you still got things from it. Then apart from that, go on like Google. You see advice or parenting tips that help me as a mother. You see someone must have posted it. You read it. Then you want your children to make use of technology. What are the things you as a parent do with the phone? Some parents will be like, go and drop your phone. Don't carry any tab. Nobody should carry tab. They are right there in front of their own tab or with their phone or their TV. And they start scrolling from morning to night. The child can hear you smiling on your this thing. Hey, the latest trend of fashion. You're watching fashion. You're listening. You know, the children will just be like, you can't be, how did they call it? All these agbero. Agbero are the ones that will not go with the vehicle. You can't be a signboard pointing to heaven and not going to heaven. Those are, you know, that's what we call agbero. Yeah. So you have to do it by being an example. Okay, for me, my children, I tell people the TV in my house now has become a furniture. Because I can't remember the last time I put it on. Who's watching it? The last time they came home, okay, we watch, what's the name of, we watch a movie then, I'd even forgotten the title. I think Miracle or so. The girl who believes in miracle or so. So we put it on the system, we watch it together. As a family, let them know the benefits. Watch movies together. We have movie nights in my house when they are around. We plan it together. Then with that movie night, everybody, you have to come. We watch together. We discuss it. It's still from this technology.
Wow.
You can, at times I tell them we're going to have a talk show. I give them topic. They are no longer babies. Oh. I give them topic. I'll be the judge. Then at times they'll be like, okay, mommy, you are the one doing. They will bring out their this and I'll be the one doing the talking. Then they'll be scoring me and things like that. Build a bonding. Then this, we have Quran. People download Quran on their Bible, on their phone, and they download Bible. So which one do you want to pick there? Then there are so many things. The children can learn coding. They can learn cartoon, animation, and all that. Let them tailor their strengths, tailor their energy to the ones that are good. And let them know, educate them. That's one important thing. You know, just like we said, we don't talk to our children. A lot of closed mouths. Don't let them hear. I always believe that my children should hear things from me first. I remember when my son was tailoring towards 10. I called him. My daughter was still like going to 8. I called them together. Said, we are going to have a talk. I've been telling them by weekend we'll have a talk. And we talked about it. Guess me the first talk we had. Puberty. We've been having talk. Because I give them age appropriate. This is your penis. This is your breast. They all know it. So my children, I remember my daughter saw one smack a girl on the bum bum. And my daughter, why will you smack her on her bum bum? That's very wrong. That's a private part. You don't touch it. I think it'll be like 3 or 4 then. And people were like, how did she know? She's still young. I said, because it's the right thing to tell her. You tell them not to sit on other people's lap.
At that
That's boundary. Age. That's at that age. And she was going, we're bringing age appropriate education. And that day I told them, when they came, was on the dining, I said, we're sitting here. We had that talk. We talk about puberty. You know, I told my boy, not quite long, we had another talk. We have talk like that. And I remember the last time I spoke with him, he got to school and they said, when he was in SS1, he said, it was in GS3, you know, they start biology early now. That they were talking about puberty in the class, and he was able to answer. And the teacher was surprised about his level. The classmate knows about it because, mind you, we are deceiving ourselves. We say children.
The children are actually aware.
They know. My children, one day I told them, you know, I have sex with your dad. And they know. Do I need to tell them that? We are deceiving ourselves. We were saying, they don't know what you're doing in your bedroom. Okay,
but before we let you go, for a parent out there who has a child who has missed it and who they might be feeling guilty and they have no way trying to redirect their lives as parents and even being the parents to the child, what's your word of advice to them?
Anyway, our advice, every parent you have a role, anybody cannot play for you. Try to make sure.
Excuse me, we need to go on this short break. Okay. Please stay with us. It's still the Mid-Morning Show.
The home is under attack, but not for long, because Hypo is here. Dirty floors and surfaces.
Not on our watch.
Dirty and stains don't do a shakara. We got the remedy, original palasa. Hypo, go hypo.
Germs always find a way back.
No greed. Protect every day with Hypo.
Hypo, go hypo.
Welcome back, and it's still the Mid-Morning Show on BCOS Television, and we have our guest. We have Dr. Oluwatoyin Daniel. She's a social developer and a child advocate. All right, looking at that quote, I don't know if you can get the quote. We don't have to do it all alone. We were never meant to. That's a beautiful quote by Bryn Brown. Now, looking at parenting now, there are lots of misconceptions about parenting. Out there, people feel that when it comes to parenting, it is a mother's role. People tend, especially the fathers, they tend to shy away from the topic of, communicating to their children. They feel like, oh, it's the mother's, go and meet your mom. Your mom will tell you about it. And it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be to the mother side alone. So what do you think about that? And how can we bridge the gap, especially for fathers?
Thank you so much for that question. For bringing it up. It's one thing that bothers me a lot. If you see the kind of boy child we are raising now, most of the boys outside, in the African setting, just like we said earlier, our society will always tell you to man up, men don't cry, you are a man. As young as a boy is, they are shutting down the emotions. So the men we have today, they are the result of the parenting that had gone ahead of us. So we need to do it well. Parenting is a joint stake. It's not for the mother alone. For single parents, good. Even some single parents have someone in their figure that they still refer those children to. You need the presence of those father. You need the father in the life of those children. Tell me, I always refer to my dad, what he did. With the first three, I'm the third born and the third girl in my house. We were so close with my dad. He would tell us things. At times, my dad would take me out to parties. Men have a role to play in the parenting, 100% role. As the woman is doing her own part, don't leave all the burden to the woman. As you are watching, the husband is supporting. Some men, Africans will be like, he has cooked, they've cooked vegetable. Leave those one aside. If you are in the Western world, you know that you have to up. Now, even in Nigeria today, a woman cannot carry the burden alone. Children need their father role to speak to them. They respect the father. I'm not talking about a father that is scary or a father that sends the children away. I'm talking the presence of a man in the house. A father that knows that parenting is not just about paying school fee. Parenting is not just about being at home, being a father figure. But parenting is about telling the children the right thing. Discipline them, telling them, nurturing them, raising them mentally, and you are there, you are present. You are able to bond with them. You are able to associate with them. You are present in their life. You can tell them, oh, I've been there. If your failing is not an issue, you can stand up and do it again. You're telling your child that. Because you have to silence. We have so many boy child that are going through a lot. A lot of them are being wounded because of the emotions that was silenced in them. And now when they grow up, my father did not do it. I was raised up never to talk. I was raised up never to cry or whatsoever. And they believe they should not cry, even when they are going through emotions. Even when the wife is doing it all, they believe they can't say anything. They can't even appreciate. They can't do anything because they believe they are just there in their own ego because of the African settings. But we have to balance it up. Parenting is a joint stake. It's a joint business. Both man and woman are involved. And we have to do it. If we cannot fail. If marriage, we can understand that marriage is a business between two people. It's a team. That's what parenting is too. It's a team. Even if you are separated, you are not staying together, you should stay together, bond together because of that child. Raise the child together in love and raise the child in the best way you feel you can raise that child so that the child can turn out to be a better version of you in the society. So fathers should know that they have a role both in the life of their daughter so that the daughter can see the role they play with their mom and look forward for a better husband outside. And the men too should focus on the boys to be a better person. We keep focusing attention on the girls. We are building better wives for bad men that they will marry if we are not focusing on the father and the boys.
Okay, so what advice do you have to parents that sometimes they feel like once they are into parenting, it affects their marriages? They feel like, oh, you know that kind of. So it tends to affect their relationship with their husband and wife.
Yes. I remember when we first got married, at the point my husband was like, all your attention are now on your children. I said, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. I didn't bring them from my father's house. But just that my husband would wake up and bathe them and prepare their school and everything. Even there was a time I was not around for like 6 months. He would still do it. But I had to tell him, he now said, I know you are overwhelmed. He will support, he will do this, he will do that. He will take them out. So women need to understand that you are not alone in the business. And one other thing, I think this one goes to women. Women should stop poisoning the mind of their children against their fathers. That's why the fathers need to be present in the life of those children. When you are not there, you drop money, and the woman is the one spending the money, taking the child. The children believe they are their mother are the only one doing it, and they tend to look towards their mother alone. Please, we need to balance it up and do it well. Parenting is for both male and female, so we have to do it well. For everybody, religious leader, government, everybody. Let's enact policy and support parents so that we can have a mental and balanced society so that we all can be productive.
Thank you so much, Dr. Oluwatoyin Daniel. She is a social developer and child advocate. Thank you for being part of the Mid-Morning Show. Thank you for your strong insights on parenting today. The Mid-Morning Show continues.